We're starting off high.
We can get
I think
two fools agree on that one. Oh, by the way, look, we got the wide shot.
There was you had accountability. Now what I can
Now all you need is a podcast and a YouTube channel.
No, not even.
Where give me the money. Show me the money.
Apparently there's a Foolproof page.
Shoot the J. Shoot it. Live on Facebook.com/Foolproof Entertainment Network. I need you on Twitter. I need you to repost the Facebook pages.
To raise a human before I would
Trust a human to raise back wolves.
before I would trust a pack of humans to raise a wolf.
Right. I hear you. Yo, what up, fools? Welcome to another edition of Do Fools Agree. As always, I'm your host, Michael Reggie, here with my main man, Clifford Jordan Jennings.
I'm here.
What's going on, sir?
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
All
where
that.
that's where I'm at. I feel you on that.
That's life.
I mean,
Like
life
Uncle Frankie says.
life is interesting right now, but it's all good. It all work itself out. I'm not worried.
Listen, you're riding high in April, shot down in May.
Right? I mean, that's generally how all this shit plays out, and at the end of the day, things will unfold as they will unfold.
You know?
And you got to do all you can to make sure that those chips fall in your favor.
Right.
You ain't cheating,
Right.
you ain't trying.
I've been deck stacking for years and still losing. I ain't got the right cards up in niggas' sleeve.
You know what I find very interesting, and this is me probably telling on myself a little bit, but it's amazing to me how quickly I can go back to remembering how to live check to check and like cutting out all expenses and how quick I can turn a dime on that stuff and
Right.
and still be comfortable and still be happy. So
Listen.
That's
Again, that's life.
that's the benefit of coming from the bottom. Now we here. We know how to live at the bottom. It ain't a problem.
Listen. Lose it all, bounce right back again.
All right, all it takes is one happy roll.
You right about that.
Oh man. So what you got to get us started? Any inadvertence to get us going?
I did have an invert.
All right, let's hear it.
I had a couple actually.
Excellent, love it.
First of all, have you noticed? Well, I don't know, because I don't know if you've been there though, but that Speedway on Broad.
It's been a minute, but every once in a while I still stop in there, especially when I'm heading to coach.
Right. The outside music they play is wild. Like they play classical music.
Oh, yeah,
and
big
all
time.
kinds of crazy shit. And I
Uh-huh.
asked them why, and they said it's to drive all the
bum-
motherfuckers that be out
The
front
bums away.
So clearly the classical didn't work, right? Because they changed it up, and now they play kid songs. Like I can't remember what they had playing
Right.
today, but it was like some ABCs or some shit, or some Mary Had a Little Lamb, or something crazy like that.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's working either, because I seen this motherfucker the other day. Man, God bless his soul, man. He was out there with no socks, no shoes,
Oh,
no shirt, no pants.
just out in his drawers?
No, he was wrapped up in a bed sheet.
Okay.
And it wasn't even like, like a pull-up bed sheet. It was like the fitted joint,
fitted.
like the fitted
Not the
sheet.
fitted.
But I do understand him, right? Because if you gonna walk around, the fitted bed sheet will be the best one to wear. You gonna wear a sheet, so he must not be that crazy. I don't know. But he had his dog with him and everything. Had this nice. It was a pretty pit bull, but wasn't on a leash or nothing.
Ooh.
And it was like motherfuckers was pulling up and they was scared to get out their car type shit. Because I knew that they was because they pulled up with me. And they were still sitting in their car. So I get out my car and the dog comes running over to me. It doesn't like, do nothing crazy. But I'm like, bro, why don't you got your dog on a leash?
Control your dog.
And he like, I'm sorry, man, I ain't got one.
Well,
long story short,
I mean, you bought him a leash.
No, hell no. I gave him, a couple dollars what I had in my pocket, but I didn't buy him no leash. I definitely told him to put that towards the leash is what you need to do. But
if you're gonna be out here panhandling with a dog, the least you could do is have him on the leash.
Right. What was I? Oh yeah, the speedway with the shit not working. So I come back the other day. They got Lion King. No, they got the banger playing. That Can You Feel the Love Tonight? Man, I swear on everything. I stopped for a minute and I just stood there and was listening to the music. And I was like, oh, if it got me staying, it really ain't working because I got to be at work and I'm enjoying the Speedway soundtrack in this bitch. I don't know what they're gonna have to do next.
One of my favorite memories of all time. We went and played a game down in, I think it was out in Virginia, and it was one of the few times that we took a long bus ride when I was in college versus flying.
Right.
And the entire trip back, the defensive bus was singing Disney tunes. And
for real?
When somebody cracked out, I can see what's happening, the entire bus went, what?
Right.
They don't have a clue. Oh. They'll fall in love, man. And here's the bottom line. Our trio's down to two.
Man, you can't tell me how the fuck would you play that to drive off the crazies?
Right, you're just inviting them
in.
I'm with you.
You just rang the dinner bell is what you did. That's what the fuck you did. Now, what they gonna have to play is like that. Nah, I ain't gonna say that.
I mean, in that area, could you just play like death metal?
Nah,
I see. I couldn't. I don't think you could go crazy. You're probably right. You're saying Clown Posse showing up.
Listen,
and I mean, and more people than I realized like country, so I don't think that would work either.
Nah, you would have to play like old war propaganda through the speakers.
Shit, you probably shouldn't be playing, is what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying? Like crazy shit. Like, yeah, I'm like, I'm not even gonna say everything that comes to mind, but just run some wild shit. Run that. What was that? What's it called? What was that? War of the Worlds radio broadcast.
Okay, yeah.
Just keep that on the loop.
I've got one for you that'll drive somebody off. Just that I'm blue, just play it on loop. And if they're not crazy, they will be.
That motherfucker parking lot turned into a rave out there, and you see motherfuckers juggling.
No, I'm not talking. I'm not talking the new song that uses the same track. I'm talking the old one.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know about that. I must only be hip to the new shit.
There have been half a dozen songs lately that are just. I don't even know that I can qualify them as covers, but they are just like rip-offs of the track with new lyrics. And I'm like, I didn't know you could do that.
It's a lot of that going on in that,
I mean, in our day, at least you just sampled like bits and pieces and sped it up or slowed it down or something. Nah, they just reuse the exact same instrumental.
Right. That's that lack of imagination shit.
Yeah, man.
Nothing original anymore.
Permeating everything. Well, that's because anything original gets shot down or doesn't get the views, doesn't get the listens, doesn't get the plays, doesn't get the likes. It's sad.
Yeah, that is the truth.
Except for Lil Nas X. They want. That's true. They want us to all be
clones.
Exactly.
That feel the same way, move the same way.
Everything is awesome. Everything is cool when you're part of a team.
I don't even.
That was the whole like message behind Lego behind the Lego movie.
Oh, I never saw it.
Oh, it's a good one. It's actually worth a watch as far as kid movies go. It's one of the better kids movies over the last couple of years. And
I never saw it.
And I keep hearing good things about the new Puss in Boots. But I haven't.
Oh, really?
Haven't watched that one yet.
I've never seen the first Puss in Boots.
Nah. Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, it's all I don't think I have seen. I don't know if they had. I'm assuming there was another Puss in Boots.
Yeah,
movie.
I think there was.
I know he's off the Shrek franchise.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think there was years ago.
DreamWorks really knows how to drain the stuff out of their properties.
I mean, but somebody was just talking about that the other day. I might have heard that today, actually. I think I was listening to the Brilliant Idiots podcast, and they was talking about how good TV shows should be able to, like, splinter into the stories of the characters.
Yeah, I mean, you've seen success with it in Star Wars. You've seen success with it. I mean, Game of Thrones too, right now, and
I think they used that as an example. Actually,
did the Jon Snow show ever come out? I thought that was supposed to drop first quarter of this year. I don't think I've seen anything about it.
I don't know. I still ain't seen House of Dragons.
House of the Dragon's worth watching, man. It's pretty solid.
I'm always late to the party on everything.
Well, you want to be able to just binge it and be done with it.
That too, and I feel like I have to not really work myself up, but
you have to be in the right mood for it.
Right.
I get that. I was talking about that with somebody today around. Actually, I think it was Superfan talking about The Last of Us, and that's one that you've just kind of got to be in the right mood for, the right mindset for.
Right.
Which
go
ahead.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
No, I was gonna say the latest episode on that was solid, man. I'm loving the show.
I'm gonna watch it eventually. I said I wasn't going to.
And I know you're not a fan of Pedro Pascal in that role, but even the little girl that plays Ellie is starting to grow on me. I still don't think that was the right casting, but she's not doing anything. She's not doing anything wrong with it. So
right. I just don't like either of them in that role.
Yeah. And I agree. Joel should have been some older, gruff, like white dude.
And we know they have enough jobs, but
right.
I still feel
so
like
they gave it to the
minority.
Right.
But not feeling it. But it does lead me to my other inadvert. I will say that I thought I was watching the latest Walking Dead, but I guess I was watching the season before.
Okay.
Because now I'm watching the latest Walking Dead. And first and foremost, I was wrong because it's a lot of them old zombies that have blood coming out of them.
They're oozing.
Right. And I get it. You know what I mean? It's all for the, drama of the show. Well, I just don't know that there would be that much blood.
But what you have to remember is that these aren't necessarily zombies that have been around the whole time. There could be other populations.
I get it, new zombies and all that.
Right.
But all I'm saying is if you got the zombies where, like they holding on to a few strands of hair and, jaws all crooked and they've been around all weak and feeble looking, how the fuck are they just powering you? Like, how are they overpowering you?
Right. Yeah.
Like, honestly, if you was that big moving at that speed, I would just get out. move. You know what I mean? Like you're not even fast enough. Like it's not like you're a cat. Like they're striking at you. Like no, you have to let them.
It's not like the infected in Last of Us.
See that? Now that's interesting, right? But that wasn't my inadvertent thought. I just wanted to
bring that up.
say that I was wrong in that because it's a whole lot of blood in that. I was like, God damn, like these motherfuckers got more blood in them now, huh? The fuck is going
it's
on?
all pustule and such.
You said what?
Said it's just all pustule and stuff.
Yeah, I don't get it. Where's all that liquid coming from?
No idea.
A real dead body ain't spitting out all that.
Right.
The fuck? Now zombies all of a sudden got more blood flowing through them. Great blood pressure. Like, come on. But my inadvert was I was thinking to myself, and this is for multiple reasons, right? But I was thinking if zombies really was a thing, and I do think that it could be by a couple different scenarios.
Well, I think the I Am Legend scenario is the most realistic. It's something we do to ourselves trying to cure something else. We think we know how viruses operate and how, so we manufacture our own, and something goes wrong.
That's kind of like Resident Evil.
Right.
And Tesla is our umbrella.
Is our version.
Yeah, I'm never
umbrella.
going to forget, Elon. I'm never going to forget. But I think if zombies were to take place, they happen in one or two places. Most likely the one. But I think they either happen in Florida.
Are you talking about just in the U.S.?
Right. Or California. I think one of those two places are where you hear the zombie outbreak pop off if it is to happen.
Well, I hope it's California, because if it's Florida, we're just going to think it's a Florida thing.
right.
Florida man bites someone's face off.
Yeah, nothing new until police put 16 in him and he's still walking. Right, and they like, nothing new here. Keep on shooting, boys.
I mean, wasn't that the thing?
Hyped up on Mountain Dew
and bath salts.
Right.
Wasn't that the thing a couple of years ago? Or it was probably a decade ago now.
The dude that was eating the dude's face.
Yeah.
Pulled up and started eating dude. Listen. Everybody thought that was it then. They was like, nah, that's just the high Florida dude right there.
I mean, honestly, I don't disagree with what you're saying about it happening in the U.S. My thing is that it revolves around a biotech or a bioweapons lab.
See, that's interesting.
It's a world government that shit goes wrong when they mess with things that they don't understand, and it's either like a disease control thing that goes wrong, or it was intentional in terms of being a weaponized bioterrorism weapon.
Right. That's interesting.
And I mean,
what was you about to say?
I was just gonna say, I mean, really, like, signs are there that that's what COVID was. It was medical research on coronaviruses.
Right.
And something made it out of the lab.
And you injected that shit into you. So now if it reverse engineers itself, you turn into a zombie. Oh, you can trust and believe I'm going to be the first to cut your Carnegie Mellon ass.
Just to make sure I wasn't a robot all along?
Just to make sure. They're going to be like, why this zombie got so many cuts on it? Look like he had Chinese 1,000 cut tortured. Yeah. Because his best friend was always curious.
My man. Hey, man.
Don't let me get too much shonen you now.
Do what you got to do at that point.
Right. Right. That's how I feel about me. First of all,
I mean, I think you and I are both of the mindset that once our minds go, it ain't worth it at that point. Take me out.
But see, I don't know that I would go there.
No?
I don't know that I would. I can't let myself turn. I would have to off myself or cut it off.
Cut it off? Like, if you got bit somewhere, just cut off that limb?
Yeah. I would have to off myself or cut it off. Most likely off myself because there's only a few places you could cut off.
Right.
I'm not cutting a leg off in a zombie apocalypse. This is just the end of me.
Just let me go.
You know? I'm not about to be the slow motherfucker out the group on the cane that y'all keep on watch because he can't do nothing else. Just stand there up in that tower and watch and see if you.
So that spins off an inadvert for me around what choice did you or would you make in the Walking Dead game where it's Lee, Clementine at the end of the game. Spoiler alerts if you haven't played Telltale's Walking Dead 10 years later, where Lee's been bit. I think they cut off his arm, but you find out that the infection spread anyways. And so he's slowly turning, and at the end of the game, you have a choice to make. You've played as Lee the entire time. You can either tell Clementine to leave and turn. You can tell Clementine to leave and shoot yourself. Or you can tell Clementine that she needs to be the one to end you. Which one do you choose and why?
How old is she?
Your daughter's age. Maybe a little older. And this is like, I don't know, 6 months into the zombie apocalypse.
She has to leave regardless. I mean, either... The only reason why I asked how old was she, because... I mean... I definitely think that my daughter would understand the weight of the situation.
Yeah.
I just don't know that I would ask her to do it. And I know it wouldn't be her in this scenario. I'm just thinking of another little girl her age. I wouldn't ask her to do it just from an emotional standpoint. So, like, I'm sure I'm the first one
that she'd have to do that. Yeah.
Right. And it's not like killing a zombie. You're still killing a person at that point.
Right.
So I think there's a different emotional attachment to it. I would have to do it myself, probably.
Okay.
And you know what I mean? Like the only eerie thing about that question, right? And I won't even say eerie, but the only thing that like makes me waver is, like you're not supposed to kill yourself.
Right.
And shouldn't nothing be that heavy, I guess you could say.
But this is like, and you've seen it go down and you know what's happening. Like you will not be yourself and you will be a threat to others.
The one thing I think about too is when I watch that shit like that is I think of the rapture.
Yeah.
And I think if we're in that situation, are we the ones that he left behind? And if that's the case, then I'm not saying the rules don't still apply.
But the rules don't apply.
You know what I mean? Like, because you're basically damned at that point.
You are, in a sense, but the flip side of it is you're a survivor.
Well, I'm saying from the if that is what that is, from the rapture standpoint, he comes back and collects all of his children.
Right.
You know what I mean? So if you're left behind, then clearly you're not one of your children, so you're damned.
So you're thinking more in like the leftovers scenario.
Right. And if that's the case, then the rules technically don't apply, which is why people wild out in The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that I would be the guy that would go crazy. Couldn't really bring myself to do so. Even if I felt like I wasn't.
See, here's my deal with that. I could see myself becoming like the Negan type character.
No, I couldn't.
Like,
I mean, I could see myself like running a community, but we ain't rocking like that. I don't like no foul shit going on in my presence, right? So a lot of that is you can't control. Once you create the monster of the people that are following you, it's hard to keep them all under wraps. And there's gonna be situations where I'm like, now that's foul to me, and I can't let you go.
See, here's
what I'm saying. Once we've been in that scenario, you can't leave. I can't banish you. I have to kill you.
Right.
Because you know how we was rocking. We wasn't rocking right.
Yeah.
And the fact that you turned my stomach and we already were doing ill shit, I can't just be like, bro, you gotta go. Nah, bro, you gotta go.
Yeah. I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying. I mean, the flip side of it is if you try to take a sympathetic look at Negan in particular, like he was
especially from the last season,
right,
gave you a look at who he really was and how he went that way. But that makes me feel like that's a weak man.
Okay.
A weak man. I mean, you went through a lot, but you just broke and thought that it was okay to do that to everybody else.
But here's the thing is, I don't know. Like, I'm trying to remember back because and maybe I'm forgetting some of the stuff, but were they like truly the aggressors early on, or did it? I don't remember how it all started between them and like the main
war.
Characters.
Yeah, the war. They targeted them. Remember, they were at whatever camp or whatever, and they attacked it, and then Rick and the dude from Boondock, they scouted that tower that they were camping at to try to get back, and then they got the squad to come take it over.
Yeah. So, I don't know, maybe. But circling back to the Clementine question.
Right.
I think I'm putting the gun in her hands. Because I think at that point, and hear me out, at that point,
I'm not off of you.
She needs to learn, like, these are the hard decisions that you have to make in this world now.
Right, it's preparation.
And I understand if she can do it, if she can do it to the person that has cared for her, trusted her, or like built this trust with her, built this relationship with her almost as a father figure, she'll be able to do it against anyone when the time comes and not put herself at risk.
Right, and I get it, right? But at the same time, I'm thinking to myself, like, if suicide is the fear of why you're wavering on doing it yourself, isn't it a little more pussy to have a little girl do it for you?
It depends, man. It depends on how you're looking at it. That's where I'm saying, like, this is a lesson that she needs to learn now.
No, I get
because
it.
Because if she can't learn this lesson, then there may come a time where she is faced with the same decision, she doesn't, and shit goes wrong.
No, I completely understand you there. Yeah, that's deep, right? I don't know.
I'm trying to think of other hard choices in, like, whether it's games or whatever that have come down to that. I mean, Mass Effect kind of has one at the end, but it's a little eh.
Yeah, no, I don't know nothing about Mass Effect.
Well, Mass Effect, and we've talked about it a little bit, it's the Reapers come back, they're harvesting organic life after 10,000 years, but this is a cycle that's been going on for millions of years. And the choice you have at the end of the game is either let the cycle continue or destroy this ancient AI and basically lose yourself in the process. So it's basically You can save
So you're a
organic
robot
life.
yourself.
You're not at that point. Now, there are
So how do you
multiple
lose
theories.
yourself by destroying it?
Because the ship that you're on to make that decision is destroyed. Now, they did a cop-out one at the end where, like, organic and inorganic life can be fused together. And basically that becomes your cyberpunk era where people have, like, chips and that kind of stuff embedded in them, etc. It's basically synthesizing between the two forms of life.
You mean 2023?
Right.
Good.
There was that brought a TikTok I saw earlier that was like, "Welcome to the timeline hotline. Let's see what you're dealing with here. What timeline are you in? Is it the one where you're just coming out of a pandemic and it looks like World War III is about to start? And is that also the one with the egg shortage?" And then they're asking, like, well, we can put you in the timeline that basically has you in the metahuman era where all humans have, like, chips and stuff. No, that's what you're trying to avoid here. Okay. Let's see. What other timeline can we try? The dystopian after World War III. We can put you there. No, that's what you're trying to avoid too. I don't know. You might be in the best possible timeline right now.
I mean, listen.
I did hear a theory the other day, and maybe we've talked about this one, but I can't remember. So between the nuclear fusion experiments and the first time they turned on the Hadron Collider, which is basically trying to create, again, nuclear reactions, etc., with the force of a star. What it did was it actually opened up gaps between universes, which is why you have so much of the Mandela effect, more so in the last 20 years than you do in any time before that in human history.
Well, wait, explain that to me a bit further. Like, when you say opened up gaps in universes, what does that mean exactly?
So basically, and you know the multiverse theory, right? Like, there's multiple parallel universes kind of running next to each other, and it's on different dimensions, etc. The theory is that when the Hadron Collider was first activated, and the first time we kind of smashed molecules into each other at that speed and created the reactions that we created, that it actually opened tears between dimensions and universes. And that we are actually kind of slipping between multiple parallel dimensions. And that's why you have such large pieces of things like the Mandela effect, things like, just gaps and changes in things, because half the world is existing in a dimension that it didn't originate in. And the reason that spawned that was the whole timeline hopping conversation. Like, I wonder if that did happen.
Is there an increase in doppelgangers?
I mean, I get mistaken for people all the time, so.
I mean, but that's gonna happen in any timeline, but I don't mean any timeline. I mean any time in history.
No, I hear you. Well, you call me the unbranded.
True, I would imagine that there would be twins and triplets.
I don't know if that's necessarily. I don't know
growing up with each other. Like, I don't know. Would be meeting.
I don't know if that's necessarily true, because if you assume that the laws of physics still hold true, you would have to swap basically matter for matter with someone else, and the only person that would match that with you would be you in a different dimension. Your mind may not be the same, but all the other parameters are the same.
Okay, so maybe I'm understanding it wrong. But just to give you a visual of how I'm interpreting the situation, it's like, okay, you're saying that the Hydron Collider or whatever the fuck that was ripped holes in the universe, right? Now, when I think of it like almost like water balloons or bags of water, like hanging next to each other, and you cutting holes in both bags, and the water flows into each other. You know what I'm saying? From being so close.
Yeah.
So at some point, those timelines would collide, and I would meet me from that other timeline, and it would be in our world as if we were related because we would have the same DNA. But it's like, oh, you're my long lost twin, or maybe we were, twins at birth and the doctors got it wrong, but it wasn't the case. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I was asking, like, is it an increase in doppelgangers, like an increase of people meeting people that are like, oh, you're
my theory on it, or my thought on it, I hear what you're saying. My thought on it is that the only person or the only being that you could swap places with would be yourself.
Oh, you're thinking it's like a swap situation.
Yeah.
Well, see, here's the thing is, I don't know that there's any, like, just like we talked about the rapture. I don't know that there's any rules anymore if there's tears in universes.
That's fair. Nah, that makes sense. I can't argue with that.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a tear in a universe, which means things can escape that tear.
Yeah.
The question is, like a sperm and an egg, is whatever escaped that tear, does it make it to this egg into our timeline? And if so, we're either going to see some real weird shit in the next coming years, or we're going to see a lot more people like, you're me? What's your mom's name?
Now, to that point,
where were you born?
I don't know that I've ever heard a story like that.
I mean, they've had news about long lost twins.
Yeah.
It's just a question of were they really twins?
Right.
Because I was listening to some podcast that they didn't even start the birth certificate, or not birth certificate, but the process of identifying children until I think 1960 something.
Okay.
And before that, there were so many issues with the hospital giving out the wrong kid or whatever the case may be. And people were finding out down the line that they didn't have any, genetics with the people that they were raised by. And then they would trace it back to the hospital and be like, oh, we were swapped as babies. And I say that to say, if you didn't even have that, kept a file on, kids.
Right.
I could imagine that some could have got out there. You might have marked down the wrong thing.
Yeah.
When kids was born.
Yeah.
I don't know what the point would be behind that with timelines converging, but
I mean, I think it's interesting to think that if something like that were possible, and it was only those minor differences that felt out of place, that would have to be a world that was pretty comparable to ours, not one that was vastly different than ours. And I guess if you're thinking about it in the terms of kind of branching timelines, it would have to be one that's pretty adjacent to ours versus one that it's splintered, say, out to here. But the multiverse theory is that all possibilities are eventually realized. It's just a matter of where.
Listen, I don't know nothing about that. I know it has something to do with Marvel, but
it has nothing to do with Marvel. But
it doesn't.
Marvel uses it, yes, but it's nothing to do with Marvel. Multiverse theory's been around a lot longer than Marvel has.
Well, they said, I mean, we talked about it on the show before. They said that the universe or the is it the universe, solar system is so vast that every possibility is accurate somewhere else.
Right.
Every movie you've ever seen is a real thing, just in a different area.
In a different timeline or different place
Right.
in the universe. Yeah.
So,
I mean, what's interesting to me is like you start talking about the scope of the universe, and then as far as like science fiction goes, we've really always stayed within our own galaxy. We haven't gone to like other galaxies in the universe, even in science fiction. And to your point, like the laws of physics in those other galaxies may be completely different.
Unless we already have, and we're in the simulation as we speak.
We're all just thought bubbles and binary code traveling back and forth. 0010100.
Listen.
111101010001.
That's another reason to cut you. See what comes out.
I think you'd be disappointed.
Right, I'll be all let down like it was just blood.
Guess I shouldn't have killed my buddy.
not one circuit. Damn.
Oh, all right. You got any other inadvertents to keep us going?
Nah, but since we on crazy talk.
Oh, my favorite. Let's go.
I think I got abducted by aliens last night.
Oh, did you? Did you feel like you'd been put in a sleeper hole? And your anus
It woke up with your butt hurting? Nah, it wasn't nothing like that. I had to check my fronts and my backs after that. It was just one of them. You know how they say everybody that says that they got abducted by aliens says that it happened in a dream?
Yeah. Oh, did you have a dream?
I had the most vivid dream. And I even woke up feeling weird, like to myself, like, did I watch something? Did I like that couldn't have been just off of
your own imagination?
right. I was thinking to myself, like, honestly, did you watch something before you went to sleep?
See, that's the problem. That's the problem with you creative types.
I was racking my brain, man.
Are boring.
Listen, and the only reason why it like hit me so hard is because first and foremost, if I did get abducted by aliens, and I hate to snitch on the squad, don't take it that way. I didn't give them your UFO license plate number and nothing. But if I was actually abducted by aliens, I am the fucking man. Do you hear me?
Why is that?
Because I was in the cockpit.
Oh, they were showing you around.
Listen, all I remember is, and this is, I don't remember, I never saw anyone. Like, didn't see anyone I was with, right? But all I remember, and I swear on everything I love, I'm hoping that I saw something and I'm just forgetting that I actually watched something.
Okay.
But it couldn't have been that because I remember it happening so much that I closed my eyes, like, out of fear. Like, I don't
want to be here anymore.
So in this spaceship and all, I'm seeing out the front, like how you like navigate, like how you drive or whatever. And it's flying.
Where's it going?
And it's getting lower and lower to the ground, right? But it's not going down like aiming down. It's going down like floating down.
Okay.
And then I realized that it's over water.
Oh, and you don't like that.
Do you hear what I'm saying? Like it was water splashing over the windshield. And then it went down into the water, like kept going lower and lower and lower and lower. And I just couldn't do nothing but close my eyes. Like, oh, I can't fuck with this anymore. I don't remember waking up. I don't remember what happened next. I don't remember anything like that. But I'm sure if I was the man enough to be in the cockpit and this really took place.
This was an automated craft and you were just being taken back to the lab and they drugged you as soon as you got back.
That's what I was just about to say. If this was real and I am me in that situation, I'm sure I flipped the fuck out. I'm sure I flipped the fuck out and they was like, oh, no, get
down.
You know, hit him with the needle and they put me back in my bed. I don't know. I wasn't wet. I didn't have swim trunks on. I don't know what the fuck happened.
I mean, I think there's credence to that theory. Like, there is plenty of space on Earth that is unexplored, especially in our oceans, where, you know, when people think about aliens watching us, they're assuming like they're in orbit or a ways away. Right. But that's a lot of power to maintain something like that. It would actually make more sense for them to set up base in an area of the world that's unexplored.
Right.
Namely, the depths of the ocean.
Man. It couldn't have been anything I watched because it gave me like real VR vibes.
Okay.
Like an immersive experience type deal. And I remember seeing that water hit that thing and that go. And when I like noticed, oh, we're going under this. Oh, it's going under.
We're
my gosh, it's still going. I just remember. I remember closing my eyes in the dream. Like, nope, can't keep doing this.
Can't do it.
Man.
That's deep,
so,
dude.
I guess at the end of the day, I did snitch because I told them where y'all was at. I didn't provide the license plate number, but my G's just changed locations or something. I'm sure they MIB'd me. They was like, yeah, we thought he was the one. He ain't standing this here.
Zing.
Right. They MIB'd the shit out of me. They had to.
They just didn't set the timer back quite far enough.
Listen, and if they did anything with my genitals, they was gentle.
Well, I'm glad they were gentle with your genitals.
Mm-hmm. That's if they were, you know, if they did anything. But if they did, they took the courtesy of being gentle.
Oh, man. I don't know what to say to that. All right, well... Let's shift gears.
I'm the motherfucking intergalactic man. I always used to joke around with my daughter like that too. Like, you got alien genes and you don't think that you regular like everybody else.
I mean, it explains a lot.
Listen, you got alien genes in you. Lord knows that I shouldn't be here a couple times.
Now, let's see who should be cutting who then. No, I've seen you bleed. It looked like human blood.
I'm sure you've seen me bleed quite a few times.
Oh,
listen,
man.
Might look like human blood, but...
That's just because it was just a flesh wound. We didn't cut deep enough. All right, I know
might
now.
Listen, well, if we're ever in a situation, you can be Clementine, motherfucker.
Oh, man. All right. So, shifting gears into the main topic for tonight, Super Bowl and everything around the game. So, not the game itself. I'm sure you guys talked about that on Wednesday and hit the showers in terms of predictions, that stuff for the football side of things. Yeah, I'm looking for predictions. I'm looking for predictions on the hoopla around the game. And I want to start off with this one.
He said hoopla.
Gronkowski, in the kick of destiny.
I don't even understand that.
Does Gronk make the kick?
I think that's a pull for like more money through online betting or something.
Oh, I'm sure it is. It's all an ad campaign.
Because I don't even understand it. Like, And if I'm not mistaken, like for people that bet more than $5 on the Super Bowl, I think you can add that in as a parlay. Like
Yeah.
if Gronk makes or misses the field goal. And I'm thinking to myself, like, that's dumb anyway. Like, why would I add theatrics into my actual betting? Like, that's theatrics. Anything could happen. They could have told him to miss that motherfucker.
That's true. That's true.
Why would I then bet?
All right. Well, I'm not asking you to bet. I'm asking you whether or not he makes it.
I think he will.
I do too.
I think he will.
I think he's an athlete. Right. I'm with you there.
And it's not hard to kick a field goal if you're training at it.
Right. And what else is Gronk doing other than commercials right now?
Right. He's not playing in the league. He's trained. I'm sure he's training. He even said it in the commercial. What did he say? Time to call
Vinatieri.
Right. Call Pat.
Training montage.
Yeah, nah, I think he makes that shit.
Yeah. All right, I'm with you. I actually think he does too.
I told you I went to the Super Bowl experience and I kicked the 30-yarder. I missed the 35.
Gotcha.
I was in the kicking contest and it was, how far they kept moving it back. And it was me and one other dude and I missed the 35.
Did he hit it?
But I was young. I was only... I think it might have been 8th grade going into 9th grade. So I was 12, 13.
All right. All right.
But I could always kick a field goal, though.
Hey,
I should have. That's what I should have did. I should have.
You can toe blow it.
I'll be a field goal kicker.
Right. All right. Rihanna. What does Rihanna sing at the Super Bowl at the halftime show?
You know what? I kind of was thinking about it this morning because I saw something about her performing. And I guess this is her first time being on stage in 7 years.
Okay.
And that definitely led me to wondering what she would be singing. So
it's got it. Well, to your point, 7. She hasn't been on. Has she released anything in the last 7, or is she just done like feature
I think she just released a CD.
Oh, well, that's why she's doing it then. All right.
I think no. I don't know. I may be wrong, but I know if she didn't release the CD, she's definitely working on it because I've heard some new songs
from her
that weren't. I don't know if they were supposed to be released. I didn't never hear the whole one, but I've heard snips of like new songs.
Okay.
So, but I don't know that she would go with that.
I've actually seen her in concert, but it was like, and honestly, the weird thing about it was, when I went and saw her, I feel like all she had ever done at that point were like features. Like, yes, she had her own album, but like her hits were her featuring on songs, not even her own shit.
And that's what I was just about to say. I think you get more cuts.
Yeah.
Like Run This Town type shit.
Maybe it's more like montage-y type where it's a mix of like her greatest, features or whatever.
Maybe Jay comes out and does his verse because they definitely ain't gonna have Kanye out there.
No, they are not. All right.
Yeah,
So what are you going with?
I would like to see maybe Jeezy pop out.
Yeah.
Let's get. Well, that's his song, isn't it?
I think so. But to the point, like.
But you still kind of got to do I Go Hard. It's Super Bowl. So, yeah, let's throw 2 Lokes in a row in the Super Bowl.
All right.
What else? I can't think of her catalog, to be honest.
I mean, she has the Umbrella, which is like her first hit, which I feel like is a shoe-in.
That wasn't her first hit.
It was one of her first.
Her first hit was "Hey Mr. DJ."
Oh, okay. That's her? Or was she featured?
Hey Mr. DJ, I'm on the replay.
Oh,
Whatever that
Ponder
shit was.
Replay.
Hey
Gotcha.
Mr. DJ, want to turn the music up? That shit.
I thought that was a feature on someone else's track.
That might even have been her second song.
Well, that's where I'm like, where? So, I feel like Umbrella's there. I hear you on, what is it, Run This Town?
You know, she'll really get everybody.
BDSM?
It's not a listen, I'm sure she's gonna be thick from the balcony. But I'm saying she'll really get, and it's not a Super Bowl song, but if she does Unfaithful,
oh
man, I still think that's the best Rihanna song that she's ever
I
done.
have to agree with you on that. That is probably one of my favorites of hers. I haven't heard that in a long time. I have to add that to
that
the playlist.
Unfaithful, man.
Yeah.
That beat, everything about that song was hot.
That one's, yeah, I'm with you there.
She'll probably do Man Down.
All right, here's what we're going to do here. 3 songs. What 3 songs are shoe-ins for it?
Shoe-ins, Run This Town. She's
I'm
definitely
with you
gonna
on that.
do. I think they're gonna have Go Hard in there, even though that's a Jeezy song. I think she's gonna have some new shit that we haven't heard type shit.
Okay, so those are your 3 picks.
Nah, I don't know, because the new shit isn't really a pick, but I do think that we're gonna hear something we ain't heard before.
Okay.
Well, something I ain't heard before, let's put it that way. I think she should do Not Really Sure How I Feel About It. Something in the way you move. She gonna put the Super Bowl to sleep. Players gonna be out there on one knee passed out like this. Yeah, I don't know. I love Rihanna, but
all right, my 3. I'm with you on Run This Town. I think that's a shoe-in. I do think Umbrella happens, and I think they do some kind of like water effect.
Yeah,
water coming from a blimp or some bullshit. And then I think that I actually don't hate the Hey Mr. DJ is the other one. Because you know that they try to pander to, the majority white audience.
Well, nah, what she said was it's all about representation for her. They asked her if she was gonna have anything in reference to her Caribbean roots, like being from Barbados.
Okay.
And she replied with this, yeah, of course, it's all about representation. So I don't think that you're off with the DJ song, because back then was the more.
She had more of a Caribbean flair back then.
Right. More of that vibe.
Unless that's all her new stuff. Unless she's going back to her roots and new stuff.
I would like that. But I don't know if that's safe to. The Super Bowl isn't really for experimenting with new music. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, that's a spot where you need to give the people what they want.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm sure a lot of them didn't want Rihanna, so to keep it a buck, she should do whatever the fuck she
wants. I don't disagree with that at all.
You asked me, bitch. That ain't the other way around. I'm sure Rihanna wasn't like, "Can I do the Super Bowl, please?"
Oh, man.
Some dorky dude in a tight ass suit said, "Rihanna, you think you'd be interested in?"
How much you paying me?
That's exactly what she said. She just had her baby and all that. She like, what's this? I better be making 5 college funds.
There you go.
And I ain't talking no cheap colleges neither.
All right, so that covers off on Rihanna. Moving over to commercials.
Oh, you want me to predict commercials?
I mean, whatever you
Doritos has a commercial.
Doritos? Yeah, Doritos is usually
Doritos always has a commercial for some reason, and it's not They are funny though.
They
That
usually
one
are.
with the where the dude was dating his mom or whatever, and the little boy smacked him.
Oh man. Bud
He,
Light Bud Light
I
used
can't
to be good for ones, but I can't remember ones that they've done lately. Not since Dilly Dilly.
dilly dilly at the bar. That was the old they was drinking Bud Light out of a barrel.
Yep. Dilly Dilly.
Man, Bud Light be missing too. They had the frogs. They be like going back
But
into the man. They need to revamp their writing room.
they need to hire a new agency.
Put your finger on the pulse, Bud Light. I'll throw my resume in there.
I'm trying to think what else.
I'll make some commercials. Commercials, real talk though. Let's keep it a buck. Well, I don't know. I guess it depends on the mind, but I think commercials have to be the easiest thing to make.
I mean, I've been in that game before. The problem that you run into is that there's too many cooks in the kitchen. Most often,
Right.
it's all designed by committee.
I can imagine.
So
I can imagine that exactly. But it's like, and the only reason why I said I'm not trying to like downplay it for anybody that's the professional commercial maker. I'm just saying the way that advertisement has gone over the years.
Yeah.
It's not like your Pantene Pro V commercials where you're just holding a bottle in a waterfall.
Watching the shine.
You know what I'm saying? It's about what what grabs my attention and what leaves that imprint in my brain that I don't forget it.
Right. Well, and I think that
Old Spice does a good job of that.
They
like
do.
just because it's weird. So it's like, what was that? One
and
commercial
honestly,
where the hand.
The Agent of Mayhem, is that Allstate?
Yeah.
Those are usually pretty solid.
Yep.
And I will, and maybe this is the end of the era for it, but the Geico, like, don't become your parents ones. I think that's Geico.
Those are great.
I love those commercials.
Those are great.
No, we don't need a line monitor.
Right. Right.
Live, laugh, in the trash.
He said that what did he do wrong? He said, well, he didn't leave his return call
he didn't leave his number
on the voice. He said a text would have done fine. Yeah, that is good.
No fussing, no cussing, no.
That's interesting. I'm taking Doritos back.
You going Geico?
Doritos ain't really been popping lately.
Well, and that's what I'm waiting for. I want one that's funny. That's like one of the old guard, like Bud Light, Doritos. I don't remember.
Now hold up. Hold up now. Now I'm gonna tell you something. I said
listening.
Doritos ain't been popping lately, and what I was about to say was about to be blasphemous to the flavored nacho world. I was gonna say that Doritos was going for a cash reach by throwing out all them new flavors, trying to get, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I had to shut myself up because that flaming hot Cool Ranch joint.
Ooh. I don't know that I've had that. That's funny.
OMG, that's one of my favorite chips.
Is it?
Out of all the chips, hands down.
See, I don't eat anything except tortilla chips and Stacy's.
That's usually chips. I do tortilla chips, and you know me, I'm a big Lay's guy, so I'll get a plain Lay's every now and then. Or
sometimes you need that salty, right? Nah, this is making me think of like my favorite
Cool Ranch Lay's.
Cool Ranch Lay's.
Cool Ranch Lay's. They're a little spicy, you know, but not like too much, like the same as like a flaming hot Cheeto or some shit. But and I know that red dye 7 ain't the best for you, but these motherfuckers here, these Cool Ranch Doritos, they got me. I'm sold. I'm sold. Take my money. Take my money. No matter how big the bag is, for $4.79, I gotta get them. I'm here. I saw them. I want them.
I'm trying to think. This is making me think of like my favorite ones of all time. I think the Bud Light Magic Fridge. Magic Fridge is one of my favorites.
I don't think I remember
Magic Fridge, and it like pops them out and they bounce into your hands.
No, I don't know.
Oh man, that's probably like 8-9 years ago. And the one that still sticks with me and still brings a tear to my eye is the Budweiser Clydesdale and Puppy. You never see the light when it's burning low.
No, I don't know that.
The one where the puppy and the Clydesdale become friends, and then the puppy keeps getting taken back to like his house or whatever, and the Clydesdale goes and finds him. Oh my god, that one gets me in the feels every time.
You love him when you let him go.
When you let him go. And it's that song during.
Oh.
But that one gets me every time.
That is a banger, though. Nah, I don't know that commercial, though. But I just thought about it when you said that. I think this year's commercials are 60-40 more sentimental than funny.
Yeah. What's the one that's who's gonna try to make us cry this year? It was, what was it, Apple last year with like the dude making all the video, or the kid making all the videos and then giving it to his grandfather or whatever. That one was pretty bad or pretty sappy. Google has done a couple with like Google search that have been pretty deep. I feel like it's the tech companies.
Excuse me, who would it be?
The REIT's chiming in with Coke and Pepsi commercials, and then the Horse and Puppy will be back this year.
When did this happen? Was it last year?
Oh no, the Horse and Puppy is probably 7 years old now, 6 years old now.
Really? Well, I'm gonna be looking for the Horse and Puppy.
And they did another one, I think the following year or 2 years later, where the Horse and the Puppy are like besties now, and the puppy gets lost and is making his trek back home and gets surrounded by wolves, and then the Clydesdale and a bunch of other Clydesdales show up and surround the wolves and the wolves kind of slink back to the forest.
What the fuck? No, I've never fucking seen this.
Dude,
I must be going to the fridge to get a beer every time.
I guess.
The puppy's in trouble.
The puppy, man. That little, I think he's a little golden lab, I think. Oh.
Well, Lassie can't depend on me. Lassie might save my life 1,000 times. But the moment Lassie in trouble, I'm going to hope a Clydesdale shows up to save him, because I won't be around for that.
Now, the other one that I'm expecting, you've got to know, especially in the Ohio market. So the way the Super Bowl ad spans run is that like 3/4 of the ad break is national, and then the last quarter is local. You gotta know that MGM, DraftKings, all of the sports betting stuff is gonna have a major presence in the local stuff, even if they're not doing national campaigns.
I'm gonna keep it a buck. I zoned out on a lot of what you just said.
Nah, what I'm saying is like the sports betting stuff is going to be big too, especially in the Ohio market.
Oh, yeah, you know that.
Even when they get to I don't necessarily know that you'll have national sports betting ad campaigns during the Super Bowl, but you will definitely have them in the local markets.
Yeah, I think that's pretty factual there.
What do you think? All right, here's an off the wall one for you. What's the one that we're not expecting?
As far as commercials?
Yeah. And then I want to hit the last round for me, which is more about like the entertainment, whether it's, a TV series trailer or a movie trailer, that stuff. But
What we would not.
What wouldn't we expect that's going to pop this year? Like last year, wasn't it some like crypto
that
stuff?
is gonna. Okay. I was about to say Planned Parenthood. Get us while we still around. That was gonna be their slogan. That was gonna be their slogan right there.
I mean, sad but true.
Benoit balls.
Has
You
there
wanna
ever
play
been
Atari Pong with your vaginal walls?
I mean, there's been condom commercials, haven't there?
Wild balls. Yeah, Trojan always comes up
Something.
with some, but nah.
It's gonna be some crypto or
that
AR thing.
That actually takes place. Some wild ones, right? Some ones that I wouldn't expect.
Doc Johnson.
What's that?
Dildos.
Dildos. Doc Johnson.
Or Bad Dragon.
Listen,
what is it?
The
is
way
it
that we
Dragon?
listen, the way that
Bad
we
Dragon.
work nowadays, they might have a few butt plug ads and fuck you made it. But they after a while they gonna be like, let me shut up.
I feel like it's gonna be some new
shut myself up often.
Some new product. It's gonna be some AR VR thing that we have no idea is coming.
AR VR. I see you did your homework. I can't do anything but agree with that, but I like it because now you put me on the direction that you were. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's some tech thing. Like last year, I feel like it was the crypto or the crypto wallet stuff that there was a ton of ads.
If the United States supervillain Elon Musk himself has a fucking Neuralink commercial, I'm gonna flip my taco. Do you hear what I'm saying?
I saw a great video on, I think it was TikTok, of Elon doing an interview with something, but it didn't look like anything like major or recognizable. And he basically said, well, all of the conspiracy theories that people had about Twitter were true. Like, Twitter was doing those things. And I was just like, wow.
He just trying to throw off the scent,
That's
Joe.
exactly
Don't play
what
with me,
I
man.
know, but I was like, all right, well.
Right, but what he didn't say is, and I'm keeping him alive after I bought the platform myself. But you ain't fooling no motherfucker. You better say that for Tesla.
All right, anything else on kind of the general commercial stuff? Did you come up with one for something that's unexpected?
Neuralink.
Neuralink? All right. So is this like being able to control things with your mind?
Yeah, like advertising the chip surgery, whatever. If I see something, taco flipped.
Taco flipped.
Whole post Super Bowl show on Hit the Showers is about me picking up the condiments of my taco.
Oh man, where are you watching the game? At home or somewhere else?
Yeah, man, I was going to watch it somewhere else, but you know me, man. I'm probably going, especially because that Super Bowl show ain't never too long anyway. I'm gonna want to drink while I watch the game.
I hear you.
So, in order for me to do that safely and still be around to go on immediately after the game, because I know motherfuckers ain't gonna want to stay up
too late. Yeah.
I would have to be at the crib, so I'm probably just gonna watch it here.
Makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So the last round on things around the Super Bowl. So the Super Bowl is always a good time for big movie and TV trailers as well. And you know that's my sweet spot. The one that I've heard about that I haven't seen the trailer for yet, or at least not the new trailer that they're dropping with the Super Bowl, is Dungeons and Dragons. does have a Super Bowl ad spot for the new movie coming out. So I think that's going to be a big one. I'm trying to think what else is coming out.
I still haven't even seen this. I don't even know how they're going to do this.
You should check out the trailer.
I might have to YouTube it afterwards.
Yeah.
I might do that.
I mean, it looks like it's going to be campy but fun, which is kind of what it needs to be.
Right.
I think
is
that
The Rock in it?
No.
I'm out. I was about to say I'm out if he is.
I think it's Chris Pine. Not Chris. Is it Chris Pine? Yeah, I think it's Chris Pine.
I don't know who that is. Is that the dude from Guardians?
No, that's Chris Pratt. This is Chris Pine who was Captain Kirk in the new Star Trek movies.
Oh, okay. I know who that is.
And he was also in like one.
There,
yeah.
boy.
Chris Pratt, Chris Evans, Chris Pine, Chris Hemsworth.
Can we retire that jersey?
No more Chris's.
Listen, my brother's a Chris, but let's retire that jersey.
I think that there will be something Star Wars related. I think it'll probably be Mandalorian, Ahsoka. It actually may be Disney Plus. It'll probably be all the Disney Plus shows and what's coming up.
And they're gonna do a real Pixar-y where they flash all the different episodes and shows past the screen like a.
Yep, exactly.
And
then what I think would be a surprise one, but would be awesome to see, would be the Dune 2 trailer.
I will listen. If that pops, that would get me hyped because I want to see that shit.
Yeah, because
me hip. You got me hip to that. I'm not gonna lie. That didn't really let me down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A lot, and I don't mean to say that you have bad taste. I'm just saying
no, we have different tastes.
Don't match.
Yeah.
So after a while, I'm like, oh, they about to lose me. That didn't lose me one bit.
Well, and you're finally gonna get to like his transformation in the desert.
Right.
Because
I would be excited for that.
Because you didn't get any of that in the first one.
Yeah, I don't even know what to expect. I don't know nothing. I know we've talked about it before.
Yeah.
But the only thing that'll miss me is when he turned into the worm. That's
actually later books and stuff. Like I don't even think they'll get to that in this series unless they do like a TV series.
Right. Yeah, I would be excited for that.
I'm trying to think what else. What else is dropping?
I know it don't got nothing to do with the Super Bowl, but my Outer Banks season 3 is dropping February 23rd. I saw on Netflix.
Okay. Netflix might do something. They kind of needed a win right now.
You know what I'm saying? I was just about to say that. You took the words right out of my mouth.
Because honestly, I'm about to drop my subscription with them.
You think I wasn't thinking about it?
Yeah.
But I gotta feed the neighborhood.
Well, they're starting to cut down the password sharing and stuff. At least trying.
I heard that they came out and said they weren't going to anymore.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
The last I heard.
You know how many people they would lose if they stopped that? I know it's probably 4 people with mine.
I mean, there's at least 3 with mine, so.
That's what I'm saying.
One of them is probably listening to the podcast, although I think she finally got her own. Mom, love you.
Now you about to have your mom and the aliens mad at us. And we look like we just be telling.
Trying to think what else is like. I know there is a ton of stuff coming out this year. I would not be surprised to see like
the Super Bowl ad time is like you better be serious. Like,
well, the movies that are gonna put ad money against it are gonna be billion-dollar movies.
That's what I'm about to say. Let me find out. Avatar did a Karate Kid. And filmed 2 and 3 at the same time. They Avatar 3 coming do it like next year, 2024 type shit.
No, they actually did. They filmed both back to back. Like the third movie is already, I think they've said like 85% shot.
You're talking to him.
Yeah.
No, you're talking to him. You're talking to the guy that came from the other dimension. It just so happened that Rip is at the bottom of the motherfucking scene, and I remembered it backwards because I wasn't going down. I was really coming up. And I'm going to keep coming up.
Oh, man. I'm trying to think what else.
Down right now.
Nah, I mean, I just know that there's a ton of stuff that's on the docket this year, and I'm trying to think of what else is coming out. Like, I think DC has a couple. I know Marvel has a couple. I don't know. But those are my big ones, are like
those are the only ones that can really compete. You know what I'm saying? If it's not like a Avatar or a Marvel, or I don't even know if DC can compete, keep it a buck. They try to play like they can.
Well,
I think DC is still faking it until they make it.
They are to an extent. They just so James Gunn,
and I don't know much about it.
So James Gunn, who directed the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, and he also directed the Suicide Squad, just took over as creative head of DC Studios. And he just published, probably a week ago, kind of what the DC slate is in terms of what's coming up. So they basically, they've instituted a creative head the same way Marvel did with Kevin Feige, to kind of run the ship over there. So I think that DC is going to, I think they're going to run through kind of what they have in the catalog right now. Like, there's a Flash movie, there's Shazam 2, and there is an Aquaman 2, which are pretty much done. That I think they're going to release all of them, and then they're going to reboot the DC universe. But, which will be interesting. I mean, those characters are relatively timeless, but dude, if we have to see one more iteration of Batman or Superman and how they got their powers or how they came to be, like their origin stories, I'm over it, man. I'm really curious if there's something that we don't know about that's going to drop and everybody's going to be like, oh, snap.
I don't know. Like movie-wise or like...
Movie or TV?
Nah, because nothing's ever original anymore. So it would have to be something that's already been done.
Yeah.
And if it's been done, it would have to be at least 15 years old.
Right.
I'll go 12. Because I'm sure there's like fuck around and be like a new Honey, I Shrunk the Kids movie type shit. Like motherfuckers is weird nowadays. Like I just don't get it. Like
a new Flight of the Navigator.
A new what?
A new Flight of the Navigator.
Flight of the... What's that?
That's an old, like, early 90s, late 80s Disney movie about this kid who gets abducted by a spaceship, goes on some cross-galaxy journey, but because he was because he was in light speed, when he comes back to Earth, he's still the same age, but 20 years have passed on Earth.
And his parents still recognize him as the same age?
Yep.
But he's really like 21?
Well, no, his age doesn't change because the theory with faster than light travel is time speeds up around you. So meaning it's only been 10 minutes for you, but it's been 10 years for someone else.
So what do they just think? So he has a pituitary issue? Or
they don't know what's going on. They don't understand it. And
so he can drink, but he's really only 12 years old.
Right. Based on our concepts of time, yes.
Is this a children's movie?
Oh, yeah. It's one of my favorites. You know what's funny
they couldn't
is
make it that old.
it was one of the
remake it that
first.
way.
It was one of the first. One of the only movies that Mansion had on tape that they would put movies on at like 5 o'clock while you were waiting for your parents to get there.
Definitely don't remember anything like that.
It's this real slick looking silver, almost liquid metal spaceship that's involved in it. And it's like this. Do you know in Return to the Jedi when the eye kind of pops out of Jabba's palace and it looks at him, kind of, it's a mechanical eye? That's what the ship interface looks like in Flight of the Navigator.
You know, I just don't know anything about it. It's an older movie, I take it. Like, older than when we watched, or around that time.
Around that time. Like, it was when we were, it came out probably when we were 3 to 5, somewhere in there.
Okay. Not familiar.
Yeah. I do want to shout out because both you and Kevin have recommended this show to me in the past, and I've never watched it until recently.
Lost in Space?
No, Sons, man.
Sons of Anarchy?
Yes, sir.
Man, you so late to the... I thought I was late to the party.
I know I am. But I think we just finished up season 2 or 3. I think we just finished up season 2.
And how many did they have? 7?
Something like that, yeah.
Uh-huh.
But it was the one where the kid gets kidnapped and they spend it all in Ireland.
I think I remember.
But that show got me. It got me.
Yeah, that's the one right
I've
there.
tried
I'm to tell you.
I've tried to watch it a couple of times and I just couldn't get into it.
A lot of people say that, and it may start off a little weird. I can't remember.
Yeah, I feel like I had to get like 3 or 4 episodes in before I was like really invested.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm sold now. Now I got to finish it.
Yeah, that's a classic to me. Yeah, no, I don't know nothing else about the Super Bowl. I really don't.
All right. Well, you got anything else for us to talk about? I mean, we're at a good time right now. We're like an hour and a half in.
I'm just trying to see how Rihanna moving.
Oh, no doubt.
It's been a while.
I'm sure she still got it.
And I like a lady with a little baby weight on her.
Absolutely.
You know?
All these thirst traps on TikToks of these, skinny whatever-year-olds. And I'm like, get out of here. And then a 35-year-old mama too pops up. I'm like, all right. I ain't mad at you. More, please.
Hell, man. Oh, shit.
The REIT's putting out a recommendation of Viking Wolf. I'll have to check that out.
Where's that on?
I think Netflix, based on when she made her comment. So, and she said she had mine and Dan's in terms of Netflix. So
she watches Valhalla.
See, I don't know if she does or not. I've tried to get into.
I watched the Vikings and they got a new one called Valhalla.
All right.
And
it's relatively recent in. I might have to check that.
It's 2 seasons.
Okay. All right.
That's a good one. And you don't have to keep up with all the old shit because it's different. After that took place.
Gotcha. All right.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I
like all things Viking.
I mean, that's why we had the conversation about Norse paganism not too long ago, Cliff.
I mean, I don't know too much about all the, details.
Nah, but I mean, like, I don't know. Like I said, I'm not sure that I believe
the culture.
Right. I'm not sure I believe in the deities that surround it, but I definitely can align with some of the values that kind of sit behind it. So.
Yeah, I think he said that. I don't know enough to confirm or deny. Ain't nobody finna rock me to sleep.
I got a couple of books, man. You're more than welcome to them. They make good reading for night.
I got a couple I need to finish first.
All right. Nah, that one, the one Viking song that my mother told me has been in my head for like 3 weeks now.
Viking song?
Uh-huh. It's more like, it's kind of a chant, kind of a song. But that's one that's been stuck in my head. There's been a couple
You can't
recently.
sing it till March 1st.
All right.
Gotta wait till March 1st. Now, if you got any African trance, I suggest you send them to me first.
Oh, man. All right, dude. You got anything else for us?
Nah.
Anything to take us out?
Nothing.
You got your usual spiel?
You know, love.
Love everybody, man. Do us a favor.
Love
like, share, subscribe. All those good things. And we out. Peace out, fools.